Go.
Tricky mate. Hello? What the hell is that? Oh my god. I just made it. Oh my goodness. This is really unbelievable.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my show, Take It to the Max show with Grandmaster Max Dlugy. I'll be playing the 5-minute pool today and taking all comers in the pool and commenting as I play. Meanwhile, good things are happening to Hikaru Nakamura, who's tied with Levon Aronian with 4 out of 6 in the Norway Chess Super Tournament. Magnus Carlsen is an uncharacteristic -1 after 6 rounds. So we're going to have to see how that goes. I'm sure he'll make a late spur, but there's little time left. So we may. It's doubtful that he will win this tournament, in my opinion. But we've yet to see how he does. So anyway, 5-minute pool, and those that think that chess is finding its drone death and are looking to chess 960 for solutions can go back to round 4 of the Norway chess and see 3 decisive games which white won, with 2 draws where white could have won another 2 games. So the 10 best players in the world could have had 5 decisive results in one day with some better play, a little bit better play from the players with the white pieces. Anyhow, here I go. Halambuha is an international master who's going to play e4 and an open Sicilian, perhaps. Yes, it is an open Sicilian. And let's see how that one goes. Let's see which is his best foot forward. Okay, the Sozan. Here we go. And castles. Okay, this is interesting because here I used to play d5, but now I'm thinking I should revert back to my old trustful. No, I'm going to play d5. I just know so much about this position that it just doesn't make sense to play something else at this point. Maybe if this repeats, I'll try it. Anyway, d5 is my move for now. Of course, black could also play knight takes knight and so forth, but d5 is actually played to play bishop b4, not really to take on e4 or anything silly like that. Let's see what white does now. Alright, well, definitely grab that knight. Not even a question about that. Improve my rook. Okay. Now probably the queen to a5. That looks like a good square. Not stopping queen a3 at all, huh? Bishop g4, but then rook g1 is possible. So maybe just knight e5. Now you know what? I'm going to defend the d5 square. Interesting. Okay, knight e5 now, or I think knight e5 now looks good. Kind of sneak into f3 or c4. Knight g7, yeah, that's a problem maybe. Huh. Yeah, this is a problem. Okay, let's try to counterattack. And I think we're going to continue with the counter-attacking idea here. Interesting. Counterattack it is. Gonna go for the counterattack. Okay. That is my counterattack. Oh my god, there's no mate. I assumed it's mate on a3, but it's not. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, let's see. Knight takes pawn. Bishop c5, knight b4. I don't like it. d4, bishop c1. Queen b4. My god, this is bad. This is unbelievably bad. Knight a2, bishop c5. d4, bishop c1. Queen b4. Yeah. Nicely played by white, I have to say. Pretty hopeless. Okay, trying to use up my last chance here. Yeah, good move. Oh boy. Okay, got a pawn for this. But if I take, okay, I better do this. Nothing else. At least that move. What about position? How did they get into this? Okay, check. Getting some checks in. Does that checkmate if I take? Maybe yes, maybe no. Oh boy. Alright, time to resign. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, what happened there? Where did I go wrong? Because I seem to be having a good position, but then I couldn't find. I mean, well, here's an interesting moment because I could have taken the knight, and just I think that was a mistake. I should have taken first, and then played 95, not 95 immediately. And then I think knight c4 is going to be very strong. So I think that was a big mistake. I allowed this knight g7, which I didn't really see. Knight f3. Oh boy, I missed queen a3 check. Ay, ay, ay. That's what I missed. And of course, knight takes d2 and rook takes knight and game over. Okay, just a horrible blunder. Now the position got very complicated. Maybe, okay, here I still had this move because of queen takes knight, bishop g4, and then rook g1, rook e3. This is getting very complicated. Takes here, and I guess I have check on a3, a1 and c3 with a draw. So yeah, that was my last resort. Even though, and now this is just losing because I actually thought knight c3 is just checkmate, but it happened to be not a checkmate at all. And the problem is that knight takes a2, which I was planning to play d4 on. Even though this position is actually white still can save himself, although after queen c3 is just a draw by perpetual. The problem is that white has bishop c5, a counter-attacking move, and then just take my knight. And maybe I should have played this way, but it was really a choice of all these evils. And anyway, this went into this just bad position, which I lost. So missing an in-between move, queen a3, and Halambucha gets me for missing my in-between moves. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. All right, North Hampshire. You're on. I guess I'll play d6. It's a bit circumspect to stop e5. Okay, I'll wait for d4. Let's see if it's coming. It's not coming. All right, and then let's go for d5 ourselves. And d5. I could have played queen d7 first. That actually makes a lot of sense. Play queen d7 if it's a free move. Would have felt much better the queen on d7 and the king on h2, because my b7 pawn would be protected now. Because it's not such a big deal now that white took on d5, because queen b3 I can take on c3, for example, and then play knight c6. And otherwise, white has a bit of a weakness. Probably has to play d4 now. And then what I can do, I can take on d4, take on c3, and play bishop d5. Yeah, that's a good advance. That's a nice position. And the c3 pawn is something white is stuck with. Does not look pretty, that c3 pawn, I have to say. Alright, that's... I don't know, should I? I guess I'll just take the bishop. Maybe put my rook to c8. If he takes the rook, then bishop f1, bishop g7, maybe even bishop h3. Okay, now queen d5. So my rook can go to c8, where it actually does something immediately. Not some in-between square like e8, a limbo square. c8 is a real square. Alright, trade. And c8, there we go. Real life squares, real life people. Now knight c6 to get rid of that strong knight is next. White will probably lose a pawn eventually, and then should lose the endgame. White doesn't take, I'll play knight e5 and knight c4. And there'll be other problems for white in the position. And if he does take, then I think I just double and win the pawn, right? Just attack the c pawn a few times. Okay, here's my check, and here's my knight d3 coming up. Okay, king e2, king e4 is possible, but that's one dangerous king. So rook e8. Maybe rook c5. Well, then knight b3, but then I don't know. I can attack the a pawn, then that's going to be just another problem for white to deal with. Like on knight b3, maybe rook c. Okay, then this is good. Now knight c4 and rook a. Wait, rook a5, king d3. Wow, resilience. Resilience is being demonstrated here. Okay, let me defend that knight first. Let me try to surround my opponent with all kinds of tenderness and see what happens. Bishop takes knight, pawn takes, rook check. Let's do that. That knight is very strong. It deserves to be destroyed. Okay, now, okay, that's a different story. That bishop is quite a bishop. Rook d8. Should prepare rook d8. Should I prepare it rook a4? No. Something about... I should probably come on this side. Now rook d8 is a threat. No? Still not a threat. That's incredible. Okay, I'm gonna consider it a threat after all. Let's attack the bishop and threaten the rook with rook e1 check. That's a double attack. If I have a so on, that should finish the game. Yeah, it does. It did finish the game. And we have our friend Goldmund, blast from the past. Still playing the Okay, I'm still going with my idea. Okay, we've been here before. That's for sure. Okay, how do we really put it to black? What do I play without c4? Just develop my pieces naturally. Maybe d5 at some point is not a bad idea, right? What just happened? Okay. Yeah, okay, d5. Knight a5. Check. c6. Takes. Alright, I just want to play for e4 then. Can I play e4? Alright, I'm going to cancel first. Okay. Okay, looks like this is a nice pin somehow. Somehow, okay, now d5. Looks like something nice, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. This is not clear. The bishop is quite strong on g5, but okay, this is an interesting move. Okay, takes. And knight d4 for now. Okay. Putting the queen into an active position. Maybe I can start some sort of an attack. Maybe see if I can trade them. Get the e6 square weak. Okay, good. Plus I controlled this one. Okay, now what? Knight f7. Ay. That was probably weakening I shouldn't have done. Well, let's see. I can always play f4, black plays bishop g5. Okay. Really just trying to get that bishop. Now walk my king over to f2 to protect the g pawn. Take it. And back to f4. Okay. King f2. Okay. Who is better than white, right? Let's put the pawn to b4 and b3 to stop them from advancing. Knight goes to d4. Maybe to c5 eventually. Okay. Now my knight can go to... Yeah, that's a smart way of playing. Okay, now how do I get my pieces where I want them? The knight needs to go somewhere else, do something else. Where? A4. Knight c3, a4, c5. That's the maneuver. Knight a4, c5. Okay, that's serious. Knight's gonna go for... Okay, I have to go knight f4 now, I think. No, knight f4 is not good. Rook g1 I have to go. To stop black. Yeah, black's not worse here at all. Still, knight c3. Knight c3, knight a4. No, I can't move my knight. Here I go. Let's see if my counterplay works. Ay, ay, ay. That's not very good. Oh boy, why did I do that? Now I'm just losing. Damn. Game over. Alright, time to resign. My god, that was really bad, huh? What did I do wrong here? Where's the advantage? The advantage must be here somewhere. I'm just playing this badly, that's what's going on. Position looks so bad for black. Yet he's holding it and holding it and holding it. Maybe I should just play d5 earlier. Just too much preparation. Okay. Knight d4. Knight d4. Knight c4. Queen c4. And if e5, knight c6. This is how I should have played it. Yeah, this is huge. So this is how I should play it. The position looks iffy, and yeah, this gave away most of my advantage here. And now we got to this endgame, which I'm not even sure why I played it for a win. think it's kind of... Black played a good game from here, I think. Yeah, now I should keep my knight around. I mean, this is too dangerous to venture off. And yeah, and here, take this pawn and just like concentrate on this side of the board. Just forget that g pawn exists. Just start counter-attacking here. Probably black will win the pawn, but then I can go like rook f8 eventually and win it back. And now probably rook f8, like knight f4, rook b8. I don't know. That's what I should have done. Instead, I decided to just follow my initial plan, but this was a very nice move. Probably here I should just already sacrifice the exchange and just try to hold this position. I don't know if it's holdable. Probably not. Check, whatever. Okay. Chance to take revenge on Mr. Goldmund. Oh boy. Let's see. Let's play it slow. Rook b8, a6, b5. Let's try that idea. Is white going to play a4? Okay. I want to get white to play e4 to block that bishop up. I think it could only be helpful, especially when there's a pin now. Yeah. Now maybe I'm playing for b5. b5, c5, b4. Not good. b5, c5 is quite strong. So let's improve my... No, bishop c6 then. Okay, I gotta get the bishop to e6 then. Not ready for b5 yet. Okay, now the queen can go somewhere. Knight d5 is logical, but then I'll have my b5 breaks. So, meanwhile, I'm thinking about the b5 breaks anyway. So white decides to do it. This is a lag or something. Why is white's time not moving? I wonder. Yes, there's a little bit of a lag. Now probably a4 already, right? Otherwise I'm going to play b5 and feel good about it. But then I'm going to trade the bishops with knight d7 and put my knight on c5. Aha, that was stopped. But not b5. Now b5 is available. I guess it was hard to stop both. Takes. Okay, now what? Queen c7 to play knight d7 or just knight h5? Knight h5 there's going to be some bishop d7 move, but then rook d8. So knight h5 makes sense. I think white should have played bishop d7 and bishop c6. I think that was better than allowing me to stop it. Okay, we'll see. It's a good move. But even if I take on b3, I'm not that worried. If I attack it front on, bishop f1, I guess. This one. Okay. Okay, let's do a little discombobulation. See where these pieces are going, actually. Rook f4 to do what? c1, maybe. Knight d5 and queen c1. Well, then I guess... Wait, what if g5 and g4? g5... Oh wait, rook f6 is a threat. Could be a threat, not now. Yeah, g5, rook f6. Okay, there's some issues here. Rook c1, rook f6 for sure. g5, rook f6, king f6, queen h5. Maybe knight h7. Rook a4 is a problem, maybe. God. Now queen b2. Defending f6. I think I'm in good shape. There we go. What the hell is that? Takes. Okay, jeez. Okay, I'm going to counterattack. That's the key. Okay. Oh my God. Crazy. My God. This can't be. This can't work. It'd be too much if it works. Too much if this works. That doesn't work, I'm sorry. Close but not so good. Oh my god, that was a beautiful attempt by white. Okay. Wow, that was nice. Now, what was going on? This position is one for the books. Seriously, I mean, this is. I thought White had a way out, actually, but he didn't take it. My God, I think in this position. Okay, I guess he didn't. Wow, G5. I thought King H5, Rook H8. I thought King G4 here, Queen C4, and King F3. But now I'm protecting up D4, so the queen can come back. Yeah. So okay, I see. So that, and if if Queen C4, King F5, then my God, this is really something, huh? Now, if pawn takes bishop, Rook E6, and it's like a crazy draw. Now the rook comes in. Oh my God. And this is like a draw. But I have a win with this amazing move, which no one would ever find. I would never find it. Rook B4. I don't understand it. To find it, you have to see that the H6 square is the only square for the king. Now the threat of Queen G4 mate wins the game. My God. That was fun. I have to say that was so much fun. Thank you, Mr. Rostemov, I believe. This is the name of my opponent. Alexander Rostemov from Russia. Or maybe Latvia. Alright, here we go. Okay, well then let's sack a pawn. Well, this is a pawn sack. Maybe I can play e6 and it's not a pawn sack. Yeah, on knight h5, maybe I can play h6 later. I mean, in this position. Or I can play bishop h2, but I'm going to play e6. I think it's just simpler as positions go. I mean, this does not look that great for black, right? Well, now black doesn't even get to castle. And try to threaten queen f4 check, I bet. Yep, there we go. But I'm not going to let that happen, actually. Sorry. Sorry, dude. No queen f4 check. And all that while I'm developing my pieces. How about that? Okay, now bishop d3 threatening. Bishop g6 looks appetizing. Rook g8 would probably be played. Doesn't look so bad to allow that move. Rook g8. No more castling for black. Then I can play bishop e2, threatening bishop h5, and stopping knight g4, in case that was an issue. Okay, maybe that's not a big deal, but still. Okay, now black's pawns are shot, so all I have to do is just get my pieces back into equilibrium. Knight f4, castles, knight h5. No. Queen e3, rook g2, knight f4. Yes. And if knight d5, queen f3. I like that. I like that. Of course, the idea is if black castles, I take on a7. Okay, no castles. Then knight f4. Knight e6 is a threat, even on knight g4. Particularly strong on knight g4, maybe. Okay, that, knight e6, right? Whoa, really? Oh, well, I can take the rook. Good start. I've yet to lose the knight. Okay, here comes the knight saviors. The knight savior team is coming to town near you. Rook g6, knight b6. Go into the king and pawn ending and enjoy the show. And king 8, knight c7. Oh boy, just that, huh? Okay. All right. Rook d7, rook e7, rook h5. That's winning, but why? Why not enjoy an extra pawn piece? Knight f6. Take a pawn while I can. Yep. And that wraps it up, boys and girls, I believe. This one will. If the other one didn't, this one will. I'm pre-moving rook h7. There it is. Expect the unexpected. No, I guess not. Okay, well, then let's check this guy out, where it wants to go. No, okay. Game over. Okay, well, that was interesting. Because, okay, well, Lufus, my old friend Lufus is back in town, all the way from China, with a nice little gadget he's got there. I don't know what that is, but all right, Lufus. Oh, the warrior Lufus. All right. I'm just going to play some sort of a dragon with a couple extra tempi. Why not? Lufus is giving away the bishop too. It's interesting. Guess I should just develop. D6 is coming. E5 is coming. 90. I'm going to let that happen. E5, 98. Hit that pawn. Okay, no E5. Then I was thinking D6 sacrifice. How's that sacrifice? Not bad, but why, right? Let's just win that bishop. For the knight, of course. Of course for the knight. No question. For the knight. But how should I take it back? Oh my god, that wasn't a threat. All right. Now it's a threat. Right. Now I better take the deep one because I need some development here. Kind of falling behind, tragically. Queen b6 may be possible. All right, but that's a bit wasteful. And yeah, my knight looks pretty bad. This was a nice surprise. Okay, now b5. I thought I gotta get my pieces out one day. This may as well be it. The day my pieces came out to play. And I caught up with old Lufus. Finally, in time. On time, that is. In time and on time. I would play queen e4 here if I were him. And just bishop f5, queen e2 or queen e3. But let's see. He doesn't want to give me that extra tempo. He does, okay. All right. Now what? Now I need my knight. Bishop g4 maybe. Then rook e1. Okay. Knight going to d4, but the queen's going to... Okay, I'm going to go queen c8 to go knight c7, and on knight d4 I can play bishop d7 for now. Maybe first bishop g4 and then bishop d7. All right, c5 is in the air, followed by knight c7. On bishop g5, probably f6 has to happen. Okay, that stopped c5, but did not stop knight e6, knight c7. Nice pawn sack, hopefully. Did not take it. Then c5. I can play c5 now that... Okay, and then knight e6. No, wait, maybe bishop f5 is better. No, knight e6 now. And bishop c6. Knight d5, queen d8 has to be played then. Tough move to play, but I'll have to do it. Okay, that went without me. That's nice. Okay, now b4 or c4? b4 now. b4. b4 before c4. This one's got to go. This one's got to go. Queen c6, rook d1, and rook d8. Probably. Okay, maybe something else. Maybe just rook f c8. I like that more. Okay. White should have a slightly worse position thanks to his bad bishop, but on the other hand, my bishop isn't that great while the pawn's on e5, so a fight upon our hands. Okay, time to get my king a little square. Okay, something to attack. Okay, like the b pawn. The b pawn. Okay. Now g5 is possible. Let's just get it complicated. My opponent's low on time. Of course we got to get it low. Lower. 25 seconds left. Really. Uh-huh. I'm back. Defense. Uh-huh. Endgame. Not a very good one for you. Okay. Seven seconds and counting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. c3 or bishop e5. No, not bishop e5. That gets me to just in time. c3. c2. And now bishop e5. f6. c2. Yeah, white resigned. Bishop a3 is a threat and not a good position for white. What can I say about Lufas, my friend? He got a good position somehow. I would say that I got flustered somewhere here. I was thinking playing d6, and it was probably the right move, because if white takes, I mean, the compensation is immense here. Just very hard to develop these pieces, and this bishop can go to b7, g4, attack everywhere, like a Benko gambit with beautiful pressure. I like those lines. That's what I should have done. Did not do it. Therefore, did not have a good position. And now, yeah, maybe. Oh wow, this is a nice try because of queen g4 ab. And the bishop takes knight, this actually protects. I did not see that idea. That is a beautiful move, knight g4. I missed that, and now white was better. Now I have to persevere. b5, maybe bishop g4. Okay, but I don't think it was so bad. I mean, I don't know. f3 was important, I thought, to get. Yeah, my idea was finally I was ready to sack. If white took that pawn, knight e6, queen c8, rook c8, some bishop move, and I thought that I'm going to get this pawn eventually. Maybe even first takes, I don't know, rook takes, maybe. Even this, even here, I can get a pawn because I play knight e2 check, or knight c2, and followed by bishop e5. So I thought that was fine. White didn't go for that, and just improved the position. c5, knight e6. Yeah, this is an important moment. White could have done this to threaten knight d8. Then I would have to play, I thought, queen d8, and then some bishop move, and then I was going to play this, calculating that this is okay for me. Rook d8, bishop e4. So, okay, I mean, that didn't happen, but I thought that was probably a good way for white to play. And then I kicked him this way. And okay, now roughly even position, I would think. And now the time pressure started paying its toll, even though, yeah, now I thought that was a good move, and I think it's true. Bishop a7. Okay. And now just a time pressure situation now. Yeah, now trades. And okay, white's already in some danger, and this was just a blunder after which I had a winning game. All right, so take it to the max show. I don't know how I did. Hopefully not too bad today. Did I do really badly? What did I do today? Yeah. Anyway, 4 plus 4, 2. Not the worst that I could have done. I could have done worse. Believe me, I've done worse. But got my good old friend Lufus. Got Goldmund back, I think. Didn't I get Goldmund back? And so can't fret too much. All right, see you next week, and have a great night. Take care, guys. This is Grandmaster Max Dlugy with Take It to the Max Show.